So you might be watching this video because you are failing or already failed a class at McGill University, but let me start by reassuring you that it's not the end of the world. Like I said in other videos, when you fail a midterm or a final or even assignments, anything, it's not the end of the world because there's always options available. For a certain class, for example, especially classes for first and second years, you might have the option to have your final grade take over your midterm grade if your final grade is better and if the average in the midterm is quite low. There are certain profs that allow you to do that. Same thing for quizzes and assignments where the lowest one or lowest 2, 3 are dropped because the professor is feeling nice and has different grading options for you. So within a class, it's always possible to bounce back even after having a bad grade. Now, if you kept having bad grades or had a terrible grade in the final, like me, it's still okay because you can take a supplemental exam. My personal experience with failing a class came in second year when I failed Calculus 3. Yes, I failed a class, but I was able to bounce back up by taking a supplemental exam in that class and passing that supplemental exam. And in the end, I didn't have to take it again. So to go a bit more in detail, I went back on the homepage of Calculus 3, and as we can see already on the Calculus 3 homepage, the last announcement that was posted was about supplemental exam. Weirdly enough, because so many people had to take one or so many people failed the class altogether. I know that within my group of friends in that class, I think we were 2 or 3. We were a couple that took a supplemental exam or had to retake the class. How did I fail that class? I did well on assignments. I didn't do so well on the midterm. I think I had like 55%. The grade like appears on the screen right now, and on the final, yeah, as you can see, I got 40%. As an overall grade, I think I had like something like 50%, just a bit less, or 55%. I don't know. I had a D. And so a D technically passes a class, but if it's a class that is counting towards your major, you need to have a C to pass the class. A D is considered failing that class. So I did fail that class. And F is also failing that class. It's under 50%. But if you have a D or an F, you are eligible to take a supplemental exam. And what the supplemental exam does is that you take it and it accounts for 100% of your grade. It's not a redo final exam. It's not like it doesn't account for like 30%. No, it's for the whole class. You can take the whole class again in only one exam during the next semester. That's what I chose. Other people prefer to retake the class altogether to have a possible better grade. I couldn't really do that because I was on a tight schedule for a physics major and a computer science minor, and I believed that I understood enough in the class during that semester to take a supplemental exam. I will do a separate video, I think, on supplemental exams, and when I'll finish that video, I'll put the link over here. Anyways, I took the supplemental exam, which you can apply for on Minerva. You go on your student account on Minerva, and after scrolling a bit, you can see that you can apply for a deferred exam. That's when you're sick or you can't attend the final exam yourself and you take it a bit after. Or a supplemental exam if you failed the final exam or your class altogether and you want to retake the whole class as an exam, as I've explained it. Anyways, I did take the supplemental exam in March because I failed the class in fall. I took it on my own and I passed it. I got a B-. But that's where things don't get so glamorous. Like, yes, I did pass the class again, but both the D and the B- stay on my transcript. And both count for my GPA. So I had a D, which was, I think, like 2.0, very bad GPA. If you're around like 3.5, like I was at the time. So that counts. Then I got B-, like 2.70, and still bad, and it counts again. So even though I passed the class, I had 2 bad grades counting for my GPA, and it brought my GPA down with all like other classes during that semester where I didn't do so great. It brought my GPA down from like 3.5 to 3.3. But I realized that 3.3 was kind of my GPA overall. It's kind of where I'm at right now. It's a bit higher. I'm at 3.4. But this was my first real semester where I had hard classes. I didn't take almost any elective. So it was a reality check. So if you failed the class and you don't know if you're going to take a supplemental exam or take the course again, I can't really tell you what to do. It's up to you. Personally, I had to take the supplemental exam because I was on a tight schedule. Other people took the class again to make sure to relearn everything again, have better grades, and in the end have an A maybe in the class after taking it twice over. And so it doesn't affect their GPA that much. So it's up to you to take a supplemental exam or not. That's gonna be it about this subject, but I will try and post other videos along the same lines and other helpful videos, hopefully for students at McGill or students anywhere, because I think some of the advice might be useful for anyone who is starting at university. If you like those kind of videos, do subscribe. If you also want to check out what life is as a student at McGill, a student in Montreal, do subscribe to the channel, leave a like, or comment below what kind of advice you need as a new student at McGill, and I will try and do my best to do videos on the subject. Thank you very much. I will see you soon.